Hey garden fam, welcome back to The Sprout. Today we're talking about one of the most unique, beautiful, and ridiculously healthy shrubs you can grow, sea buckthorn, Hippophae rhamnoides. You might know it as the golden tree or Siberian pineapple, and that nickname fits perfectly because those bright orange berries have a tangy, tropical flavor that's unlike anything else you can grow in a cold climate. Sea buckthorn isn't just another berry bush, it's a superfood powerhouse. The berries contain up to 15 times more vitamin C than oranges. They're packed with vitamin E, carotenoids, flavonoids, and rare omega fatty acids. In fact, sea buckthorn is one of the only plant sources of omega-7, which is incredible for skin health and tissue regeneration. In Siberia, people have used sea buckthorn oil for centuries to treat burns, wounds, and digestive issues. It's also a favorite in cosmetics and health supplements worldwide. But here's the thing, sea buckthorn is different from most fruit bushes. It's dioecious, meaning it has separate male and female plants. If you want berries, you need both. Plant it wrong and you'll get a beautiful shrub with no fruit. Plant it right and you'll have more berries than you can handle. In this video, I'll teach you everything you need to know. How to plant, how to choose male and female plants, how to care for them, how to prune, how to harvest those tricky berries, and why this shrub is worth every scratch from its thorns. Before we dive in, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We put out new plant care videos every week, and I don't want you to miss the next one. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever tried sea buckthorn berries? Do you grow them? I'd love to hear about it. Now, let's get into it. First, let's talk about what sea buckthorn is. Sea buckthorn is a large, deciduous shrub. It grows about 3 to 5 meters tall, sometimes taller. It's part of the Elaeagnaceae family, which also includes oleaster and gumi. It's native to Europe, Northern Asia, and China, and it's been cultivated for centuries for its berries and medicinal properties. Sea buckthorn is a nitrogen-fixing plant. That means it actually improves the soil it grows in. The roots form a symbiotic relationship with bacteria that pull nitrogen from the air and turn it into nutrients the plant can use. Sea buckthorn is also famous for being incredibly tough. It tolerates temperatures down to -50 degrees Fahrenheit. That's zone 3. It grows in poor soil, sandy soil, coastal conditions, and even stabilizes sand dunes. Its name, Hippophae, translates to shiny horse because ancient Greeks used it as horse fodder, and horses fed on the leaves developed a shiny, healthy coat. Sea buckthorn is a thorny shrub. Those thorns are sharp, and they make harvesting a challenge, but they also make it an excellent security hedge. The leaves are narrow, willow-like, and silvery green, staying on the plant late into autumn. The flowers are small and green-yellow, not showy at all. The real show is the fruit. Now let's talk about the fruit. The orange berries are small, about the size of a pea, and they grow in dense clusters along the branches. They develop on female plants only. Each berry is packed with vitamins A, C, and E, folic acid, carotenoids, and fatty acids. The flavor is tart and aromatic, often described as a little bit like citrus or passion fruit. The berries ripen in late summer to early autumn, usually August to September. And here's a fun fact, the berries stay on the branches through winter if you don't harvest them, providing food for birds. Now let's talk about the most important thing, male and female plants. Sea buckthorn is dioecious. Some plants are male, some are female. Only females produce berries. You can't tell the difference until the plant matures and produces flower buds, usually around 3 to 5 years old. Male plants have larger, more rounded flower buds and produce brownish, inconspicuous flowers. Female plants have smaller, more pointed flower buds and produce yellowish-green flowers. For a good crop, you need one male plant for every 5 to 6 females. If you plant a single female with no male nearby, you'll get no fruit. Some varieties are self-fertile, but they're not common. So when you buy sea buckthorn, check the label carefully. Some reputable nurseries sell named male and female cultivars. Now let's start with planting. The best time to plant sea buckthorn is early spring, before the buds break. You can also plant in late autumn or winter for bare root plants. Choose a spot in full sun. Sea buckthorn needs lots of sunlight. In partial shade, you'll get reduced flowering and fruiting. The soil should be well draining. It tolerates almost any soil, sandy, loamy, even clay, as long as it's not waterlogged. The ideal pH is between 6.0 and 7.5, neutral to slightly alkaline. It can handle acidic and alkaline soils, but it does best around 6.5 to 7.0. Space your plants about 3 to 4 meters apart. For a hedge, you can plant them 1 to 1.5 meters apart. If you're planting a female, make sure there's a male within about 60 to 100 feet for good pollination. When digging a hole, make it twice as wide as the root ball, but no deeper. Plant at the same depth it was growing in its pot. Backfill with soil, water thoroughly, and mulch with a layer of organic matter, keeping it away from the stem. Now let's talk about watering. Sea buckthorn is drought tolerant once established, but young plants need consistent moisture. During the first year, water regularly to help the roots establish. In dry periods, young plants need 3 to 4 buckets of water at a time, every 1 to 2 weeks. Mature plants need 6 to 8 buckets of water during extended dry spells. In autumn, do a deep soaking watering to prepare the plant for winter, but don't overwater. Sea buckthorn does not like wet feet. In winter, reduce watering significantly. The most common mistake is overwatering in heavy clay soils. Now let's talk about fertilizing. Sea buckthorn is a nitrogen-fixing plant, so it doesn't need much fertilizer. In poor soil, you can add compost at planting time. From the 3rd year after planting, start fertilizing regularly. Use ammonium nitrate in early spring, about 20 grams per square meter. During flowering, use complex fertilizers with a balanced NPK ratio. After flowering, use phosphorus and potassium fertilizers with a gap of about 20 days. In autumn, add superphosphate and potassium salt around the root zone, but don't overdo it. Too much nitrogen encourages leaf growth at the expense of fruit. Organic options include well-rotted manure in spring and bone meal in autumn. Now let's talk about pruning. Prune sea buckthorn in early spring, before the buds break. You can also do light pruning in autumn. For the first 4 to 5 years, focus on shaping the plant and removing any incorrectly growing shoots. After 8 to 10 years, do a rejuvenation pruning. Remove old branches with little growth, leaving 3-year-old shoots. Every year, do a sanitary prune. Remove dead, damaged, diseased, or frozen branches. Wear protective clothing. The thorns are sharp. Sea buckthorn also spreads by suckers. Remove unwanted suckers to keep the plant in bounds. When pruning, always make clean cuts with sharp tools. Now let's talk about common problems. Let's go through them one by one. Problem 1. No fruit. This is almost always because you don't have a male plant nearby, or the female plant is too young. It takes 3 to 5 years for sea buckthorn to start fruiting. Some plants may take even longer. Be patient. Problem 2. Pests. Sea buckthorn can get aphids, spider mites, sea buckthorn flies, and sea buckthorn moths. For prevention, apply a thick layer of mulch around the base in early spring, about 4 to 6 inches, and remove fallen leaves and fruit in autumn. The sea buckthorn fly lays eggs on the berries, and the larvae feed inside. If you see signs, remove and destroy affected berries. If you need to treat, use biological insecticides like lepidocide or bitotoxibacillin. Always follow the label. Problem 3. Diseases. Sea buckthorn can suffer from endomycosis, scab, fusarium wilt, verticillium wilt, and black cancer. For prevention, treat with Bordeaux mixture twice a year, in spring and autumn. Remove any infected branches and seal the cuts with garden wax. In summer, use biological fungicides like phytosporin or Gamare. If you see large areas of dieback, inspect the roots for rot. Problem 4. Root rot, caused by poor drainage and overwatering. Make sure your soil drains well. Don't plant in areas with high groundwater. If you're in a heavy clay region, consider planting on a mound or in a raised bed. Problem 5. Winter damage. Sea buckthorn is extremely cold-hardy, but winter thaw can be a problem. If the ground thaws and then freezes again, the roots can suffer. Mulch around the base to protect the roots. Also, protect young plants from drying winds in their first winter. Problem 6. Suckers spreading too far. Sea buckthorn can spread by underground runners. If you want to keep it in bounds, remove suckers regularly. A root barrier can help. Problem 7. Branch dieback. This can be caused by old age, disease, or physical damage. Prune out dead branches and disinfect your tools. If dieback is extensive, the plant may need rejuvenation pruning. Problem 8. Leaf spots. Brown or black spots on leaves, caused by fungal infections. Remove affected leaves and improve air circulation. Use a fungicide if severe. Problem 9. Poor growth, usually due to poor soil drainage or lack of sunlight. Check your planting site and improve conditions. Problem 10. All male plants. If you buy a batch of unlabeled plants, you may end up with only males or only females. Always buy from a reputable nursery that sells sexed plants. Here's where you come in. Drop a comment below. Do you grow sea buckthorn? Do you have male and female plants? I'd love to know. Now let's talk about harvesting. This is the biggest challenge with sea buckthorn. Those berries are tightly packed on thorny branches, and they don't come off easily. The traditional way is to pick each berry by hand, and for a large bush, that can take hours. Here are some better methods. First, cut off whole branches and freeze them. When the berries are frozen, they fall off easily. This is great if you're going to use the berries for juice or jam. Second, use a fork or small comb to strip the berries off the branch into a container. Third, use a slingshot or hook tool to shake the berries off. Fourth, wear protective gloves and gently strip the berries with your fingers. Always wear gloves. The thorns are sharp and the juice can stain your skin. Harvest when the berries are fully orange and firm, usually in late August to early September. Some gardeners wait after the first frost, as the cold can reduce the acidity. Now let's talk about using sea buckthorn. The berries are tart and tangy, a bit like citrus, passion fruit, or pineapple. They're too sour to eat fresh for most people, but they're incredible in juices, jams, jellies, syrups, and smoothies. Sea buckthorn oil is widely used in skincare and cosmetics. It's also a popular health supplement. You can freeze the berries for later use. They freeze beautifully. Or you can juice them. To get the juice, mash the berries and strain them through a cloth. You can also dry the berries for tea. Now let's talk about varieties. Leucora is a reliable European variety with large, sweet berries and reduced thorniness. Orange Energia is a Siberian variety with very high vitamin content. Titan is a male pollinator variety. Palmix is another good male variety. Hergo is a Swiss cultivar with good yields. Golden Rain is a well-known cultivar from Germany. For North American gardeners, Indian Summer and Lord are popular choices. When buying, always check what zone and soil conditions the variety prefers. Let me give you a few quick answers to common questions. How long does sea buckthorn live? With good care, several decades, sometimes up to 50 years or more. How tall does it get? 3 to 5 meters, depending on the variety. When does it start fruiting? 3 to 5 years after planting. Do I need male and female plants? Yes, unless you have a self-fertile variety. Can you propagate sea buckthorn? Yes, by suckers or cuttings. It's usually grown from cuttings to preserve sex. Is sea buckthorn invasive? In some areas, it can spread by suckers and self-seed. In parts of the UK and North America, it's considered invasive and regulated. Check your local rules before planting.
Let's wrap everything up. Sea buckthorn is a tough, productive, and beautiful shrub. Plant it in full sun in well-draining soil. It tolerates most soils and extreme cold. The most important rule, plant at least one male plant for 5 to 6 females. Water during the first year, then only during dry spells. Fertilize lightly. Prune in early spring, removing old and damaged branches. Harvest in late summer, and protect yourself from the thorns. Here's the most important thing to remember. Sea buckthorn is a plant that gives you back more than you put in. It's tough as nails, it's beautiful, and it produces the most nutrient-packed berries you can row. Yes, it has thorns. Yes, it has male and female plants. Yes, it can be a challenge to harvest, but those bright orange berries in autumn are worth every scratch and every hour of work. They're a superfood you grew yourself. Before you go, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave me a comment. Are you going to plant sea buckthorn? Have you ever tasted the berries? I'd love to know. Also, what plant should I cover next? Goji berry, aronia, honeyberry? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care of your garden, and it will take care of you. See you in the next video.